What's up, YouTube? Could you imagine your neighbor who lives in $1 million home decides that while you're out of town, decides to break into your home, and not only just breaking your home, just using your stuff, driving your car, all this stuff? Well, guys, this happened to NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins, and he tells this wild story about how the neighbor's son, while they were away, his family was away, broke into their home and was using their stuff, driving his mother-in-law's car around, partying in his house, doing all kinds of stuff. And even some of his personal things were missing because of this young person. Hey guys, I'm Corey, and welcome to my channel, Let's Talk with Corey. If this is your first time tuning in, hit that subscribe button. But before we get started, wherever you are in the world today, I mean wherever you are in the world today, I really do hope you're having a great day. Guys, as you know it, my channel, Let's Talk with Corey, is about people, places, and things. And this time, we're talking about NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins tell the wildest story about how his neighbor's son, who lived across the lake in $1 million house of their own, decides to break into their home while they were away and spend a lot of time there with his friends, doing all kinds of stuff. But guys, I'm gonna cut to the clip. You listen up, and Kendrick Perkins is gonna tell the story. This is a wild story, but I want you to think about this. It's very important that not only you keep an eye on your property, and especially if you're at the level of a Kendrick Perkins. And you don't even have to be at the level of Kendrick Perkins. Bottom line is that when you're away from home for extended periods of time, you need to make sure you're watching what's going on, or pay someone to check in on your property to make sure no one's there that's not supposed to be there. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna cut away to the clip. And guys, you leave a comment. What would you do if you found out that someone was living in your house when you're away? Now, he did take this person to court, and it caused probably that other family a whole lot of grief behind this young man. But guys, you check out this clip.
No one's home, right? I'm in New Orleans, and my wife Vanity gets a phone call from our neighbor in Houston while we're in New Orleans. And she's like all hysterical. She's crying. She's like, we messed up really bad. My son messed up. He had been, now this is my neighbor. He wrecked your car. He wrecked your car and like wrecked our car, right? It was my mother-in-law BMW that was parked in the garage. So I'm like, what? So it's like, yeah, wrecked the car, and I'm sorry, we're parking there. So my wife's like, oh, I'm on my way down there. So she gets on the plane, she gets down there, right? Know that my neighbor that stayed across the lake he was a teenager, 17 years old, knew that we wasn't home during the season. He had broke into my house through my backyard and went up through the pool room, the pool closet, went up through the attic, came down, unlocked the door. He had been driving for about 10 months straight, my mother-in-law car to school. He goes, this is how he gets caught. He goes to his girlfriend's house, okay? And they had just broken up. The brothers and cousins beat him up. They bust out my mother-in-law like windows and shit. They wrote on the word penis, drew a penis on there. He's driving back home to come back and park the car. He gets stopped by the police.
Okay, guys, like I said, it was a crazy story that Kendrick Perkins told about the neighbor's son breaking into his family's home and was practically living there for whatever reason when he had a nice home of his own. But guys, what would you do in that circumstance? Of course, I think that Kendrick Perkins handled it the appropriate way by taking these people to court about the stepson. But just a crazy story. But yeah, you just got to make sure that when you're away from extended periods of time, that someone's checking in on your property. Now, this was a gated community, so I mean, it's probably a lot of space between neighbors. So, you know, this is private property and gated community. But guys, you leave a comment. What would you do in that situation? But guys, as always, thanks for the pull up. Until the next time, let's talk with Corey. Let's talk with Corey out.